numerical of horn antenna. Last class we have discussed about the parameters. What are the parameters with respect to E-plane horn antenna, H-plane horn antenna, and the pyramidal horn antenna, and as well as the conical horn antenna. What are the basic parameters behind that? That also we have discussed very briefly. What is theta E, what is theta H, what is the half power beam width, what is the full null beam width for each and every antenna we have identified. Now based on those particular relations, we are going to solve few numericals on this horn antenna. Okay. So here I have written, you can see there are two numericals I have written. So first one I am going to discuss. Here we have to identify, determine the length L. Okay. The length L for H-plane aperture. Okay. And the flaring angle is theta E and theta H. That means theta E and theta H, if it is provided, that means indirectly it is asking about, it was discussing about the pyramidal horn antenna. Theta E and theta H both are available in the pyramidal horn antenna. But if it is only discussed about theta E, that means it is discussing about E-plane horn antenna. If it is theta H, then it is H-plane horn antenna. Okay. So it is E and H plane of a pyramidal horn antenna for which E-plane aperture A suffix E. Okay, A suffix E aperture also we have discussed. A suffix E is 10 lambda is given, and the horn antenna is fitted with a rectangular waveguide which is operating in a dominant mode, that is T10, and the del, which is the incremental length, that is 0.2 del if it is E plane, and 0.375 del lambda for H plane. For this we have to calculate what is the length L. Okay, and then we have to calculate the beam width, and then we have to calculate the directivity. So all these things we will discuss step by step. So first of all, let me identify the parameters what it is given. First, flaring angle we have to calculate, and here aperture is given. A suffix E is equals to 10 lambda, and the rectangular waveguide is operating in a dominant mode, that is T10, and del suffix E is equals to 0.2 lambda, and del suffix H is equals to 0.375 lambda is given. Okay. Now we have to calculate the length for H plane. Okay. For that, as we know that our L is equals to A square by 8 del. Okay. 8 del. Not lambda, it is del. This thing we have already derived what is the length, and it depends upon the aperture and del. Now in this case, A is given as 10 lambda, so you will substitute, you will get around 100 lambda square. Okay, and 8 into del, so del is equals to, here del you have to consider it is 2.2 lambda, so 0.2 lambda means lambda by 5, so it is lambda by 5, so lambda get cancelled out. So here we will get around 500 divided by 8, and the length will have 62.5 lambda. Okay, so like this we have to calculate. Here I have considered A suffix E, okay, aperture, because here it is given it is H plane, and the aperture is flaring angle is given, and the aperture is given as 10 lambda. So we have a length with relation with respect to the aperture, A square divided by 8 del. So A square I have considered with respect to del E, because here I am considering with respect to A suffix E. So general equation will be L is equals to A square divided by 8 times of del E. So this is the basic relation through which we can determine the value 62.5 lambda. So that is the length. Okay. So here we have identified the length. Next, we will find what is our theta E, because here theta E and theta H we have to identify, flaring angle. So here I will write flaring angle theta E is equals to 2 tan inverse of A divided by this is the basic relation. What it is? Tan of theta by 2 or is equals to a by 2l. So a is the aperture and l is the length, and what is our del E? According to del E, here the aperture you have to put a is equals to 10 lambda. Length we have got, it is around 62.5 lambda. Substitute here, you will get your angle as it is 2 tan inverse of 10 divided by 125, because 62.5 into 2 is 125, and angle you will get around 9.1 degree. So this is my theta E. Okay. Similarly, we are going to calculate what is our theta H. So this is theta E. Next, we have to find out what is our theta H. So for theta H, we have to find out the length, and after determination of length, we have to find out the angle. So how we will identify the length? So for that, it is AH square divided by 8 del H. Okay. Now here, so our del H is equal to how much? 0.375 lambda. Okay, 0.375 lambda, and with respect to this, our theta H is equals to twice tan inverse of L divided by L plus del. This is the relation with respect to the theta H. So here I will substitute tan inverse of L. L is equals to how much? L is equals to 62.5. So 62.5 divided by 62.5, and del is equals to how much? It is around 3 lambda by 8. It is 3 lambda by 8. So here I will substitute, it is 0.375. So now this theta H we are going to get around 12.25 angle. Okay. So now it is theta H is this much. Now we can determine AH. Now AH is equals to how much? AH is equals to 2L tan inverse of theta H by 2. Okay, tan of theta H by 2, not inverse. It is tan of theta H by 2. Now, what is our length? Length we have to calculate, as well as the length is given here. We have identified how much? Length is equals to 62.5 lambda. So you have to substitute that 62.5 lambda. It is 10 of theta H. Theta H is 12.25 divided by 2. If you solve this, your AH will be 13.7 lambda. So once AH is known, you can easily go for determination of half power beamwidth, because in that AH and AE plays a vital role. So that we will see. So let me erase this part. So AH is equals to that much. That means next we can calculate half power beamwidth. So half power beamwidth for E plane and H plane we have to calculate. So how much it is? Let's see. So for E plane we have a relation that it is 56 degree divided by AE lambda. Okay. So 56 degree divided by AE lambda means this lambda you have to divide with AE and you will get 10. So we will get around 5.6 degree. So this is with respect to the E. Similarly, half power beamwidth for H plane is equals to, we have 67 degree divided by AH lambda. AH we have already got. You divide this AH lambda means we will get 13.7. So this is my value. So only we have to substitute 67 degree divided by 13.7, near about 4.9 degree we will get. Okay, so this is called as our half power beam. Now here with the help of the length we have derived theta h. Okay, once theta h is known we have derived ah. Once ah is known we have derived ah lambda, ae lambda, and with the help of that the half power beamwidth for E plane and H plane, with the help of this relation we have got 5.6 degree and 4.9 degree. And last thing is directivity is left. So what is our directivity? Let's see. So directivity is C. So directivity relation we have 10 log base 10 7.5 aperture divided by lambda square. Okay. So with the help of this relation we can determine what is our directivity. But before that, what is our AP we have to find out. AP depends upon the antenna aperture. Okay. So that antenna aperture we have got around 13.7. Okay, with respect to the H plane. So here I will substitute. So it is 10 log base 10 7.5 into 10 into 13.7, which is near about 30.1 dBi. So this is my directivity. So with the help of this sort of relation, we can identify the half power beamwidth for flaring angle of E plane and H plane. Flaring angle also we can calculate, even the aperture also we have identified. But the length remains as it is. Length is how much? That is, we have calculated 62.5 lambda. How we have calculated? With the help of this age. Okay. So this is one form of question. Next we will see. Next we have one more question, that we have to find out the length, okay, and width. Here it comes, the another term is width, and half flaring angle with the mouth height of H is equals to 10 lambda. Height is given, and the horn is filled with a rectangular waveguide which is operating in a transverse electric mode with a dominant value T10. So how to solve? Let's see. So first of all, let me jot it down that what are the values are given in this. According to this, our theta is equals to tan inverse of H by 2L, okay, which can be written as cos inverse of L divided by L plus del. So this relation already we have discussed in the previous class, that how this can happens from the angle. This is my triangle value, this is theta, so this is H and this is 2L. Okay, so it is tan inverse of H by L, or cos inverse of L plus del we can write. So this is L we can write, and it is more about 2 del we can write. So it is with respect to tan inverse of H by L. Okay, and cos inverse of L plus L del. So it is a base by hypotenuse. Okay, now that we will see how to solve and how it will help us to determine the values. Now for this we have to consider del E is equals to 0.2 lambda and del H is equals to 0.375 lambda. So this is the standard value is given. In this question it is not given, but if it is not given, we will consider the standard value, that is del E is equals to 0.2 lambda and del H is equals to 0.375 lambda, and with the help of this we can determine the length. L is equals to, it is H square divided by 8 del. Now H square is equals to how much? It is 10 lambda square, which is this much, and 8 into 0.2 del, which is equals to 62.5. So our height is around, if you solve this, we will get our height, that is small a is around 110 lambda, and that h is also called as AE also, okay, for E-plane sectorials. So it is 100 lambda square divided by 8 into 0.2 lambda, we are about 62.5 lambda we will get, that is our length. And similarly, theta E is equals to tan inverse of x by 2l, that we can write, and it is tan inverse of 10 lambda divided by 2 into 62.5 lambda, and theta E will come around 4.6 degree. Similarly, theta h also we can determine. Theta h is equals to tan inverse of, or we can write cos inverse of L plus LL, which is equals to 6.3 degree we can determine. And with the help of this tan theta h, W by 2L is the relation through which we can determine the width of the horn antenna. Okay, so here W is equals to 2L tan theta h. Okay, so here theta h is 6.3, determine tan theta of 6.3 and 2 into L, where L is equals to, we have determined here about 62.5 lambda, and we will get the width around 13.8 lambda. So like this we can solve. Basically the relations, whatever the derivations are available, we will go through once again, and with the help of that we can solve each and everything step by step. Okay, so these are the basic parameters through which we can identify. Always remember that width is basically related with the h plane, okay, and h plane theta value. So from the theta h we have determined the relation, that is W by 2L. Okay, twice, it will come with respect to twice of the length. Now this is the simple example with respect to the horn antenna, with respect to the flaring angle, with respect to the half power beam width and directivity. So few questions we will solve. Okay, so these are the two questions. Few more questions we are going to solve. Okay, so here there are two more questions. As you can see, that first, design an optimum horn antenna. Optimum means maximum value. What are the possible maximum value that we have to identify. Mouth height h is equals to 20 lambda. It is also called as aperture. Okay. Path difference is 0.2 lambda. For E plane it is 0.2 lambda. For H it is 0.37, and we have to determine L. It is quite similar to the previous example, that how to determine the length. So let's see. So first of all, whatever the given data is there, note it down. Del is equals to 0.2 lambda, del is equals to 0.2 lambda, and del x is equals to 0.375 lambda. Okay. Now we have one more value, that is h is equals to 20 lambda. Done. And we have relation L is equals to x square divided by 8 del, or a square divided by 8 del. Anyone you can do. H is also called as aperture. So if I am going to calculate this, h is equals to 20 lambda whole square, 8 into del, that is 0.2 lambda, near about 400 lambda square, and here it is 8 divided by 0.2 into lambda. So this lambda cancelled out. So near about this is 100, and this is about, this is 2, okay, and this is 100 divided by 0.4, and near about we will get 250 lambda. So this is the length. Okay, length L. Now once L is known, respect to the flaring angle, because theta E and theta H is there. So theta H we can calculate cos inverse of L plus del. Then so cos inverse L is equals to 250 lambda. This is 250 lambda plus del. So del H is how much? 0.375 lambda. If you solve this, your theta H will become 2.29 degree. Similarly, theta E also can be calculated as, it is tan inverse of H by 2L. Okay, this is the relation theta E. So here tan inverse H is around given as 20 lambda. Okay, and twice into L. L is equals to how much? 250 lambda. So this lambda get cancelled out. So we will have tan inverse of 20 divided by 500. Okay, because 2 into 250 is 500. So this get cancelled out, and we will get around 2.29 degree. Okay, so like this we can identify the values for given horn antenna as per the given data. So here the increment or the path difference is given, and the aperture, sometimes it will called as a mouth height, or sometimes it will called as a aperture. Both are same. So H is equals to 20 lambda. So L is equals to A square by 8 del. So in place of A you have to substitute H. Okay. So one more question. So what is the required aperture area? So here you have to identify AP. Remember that aperture area. AP we have to identify. For an optimum rectangular horn antenna operating at 2 GHz, frequency is given and gain is given 12 dBi gain. Optimum conical horn antenna with the same specification we have to determine. Now the thing is, here 12 dBi is given and aperture is given. That means indirectly it is asked, it forms a relation between aperture and the directivity. Okay, so directivity maximum value we can say as a gain, directive gain. Okay, so that value is given. So now we are going to solve the for rectangular first, then we will solve for conical. So first we will solve for rectangular horn antenna. Okay, we have the relation directivity is 7.5 AP divided by lambda square. Done. Now what is lambda? Lambda is equals to 3 by f, 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by the frequency 2 into 10 to the power 9. So it is 3 divided by 20. Done. So that is my lambda value. So once this lambda is known, near about 0.15 meters we will get. Now AP is equals to D into lambda square divided by 7.5. Now what is D? D here it is given as 12. So it is 10 to the power 1.2 directly I can write, because 10 log base 10 of D is equals to 12 dBi. So D is equals to 10 to the power 0.1. So AP is equals to 10 to the power 1.3 into lambda square, that is 1.15 whole square divided by 7.5. So my AP will become as 0.0475 meters square. So this is my aperture area with the help of the maximum value given for the optimum horn antenna. Okay. So this is for rectangular. Now we will solve for the conical horn antenna. Conical horn antenna. For that, in conical horn antenna, aperture depends upon the area, pi r square. So that we have to identify. So for that, we have D is equals to 6.5 pi r square divided by lambda square. So this is my answer. So here pi r square is the aperture area. 6.5 divided by lambda square. So same gain 12.5 dBi you have to consider, and in place of pi r square you can substitute AP. Okay. So for this, AP is equals to D into lambda square divided by 6.5. Okay. So our D is how much? 10 to the power 1.2. What is lambda square? It is 0.15 whole square and divided by 6.5. So if you solve this, you will get around pi r square is equals to 10 to the power 1.5 into 0.15 whole square divided by 6.5. If you solve this, your area will become so this is your aperture area. So try to solve with the help of a calculator. You don't have the calculator, you can substitute the value and you can determine in terms of meter square. So like this we can proceed for the determination of conical horn antenna. Only the difference is in rectangular horn antenna we have a constant value 7.5 and in conical horn antenna we have 6.5. Okay. With the help of that you can determine the AP. So one more possible combination of question may ask, that is, what will be the radius of that antenna, or you can say what is the diameter of that antenna. So once this pi r square value is known, divide this pi, determine r and determine the diameter, that is D is equals to 2r. So like this you can expect the questions. So in order to determine the aperture area, they may ask what is the diameter of that conical horn antenna. So first you have to determine the aperture area, you have to equate with pi r square, you have to determine r, multiply 2 to it, you will get your diameter of conical horn antenna. Two more questions we will take. Okay. So this is the last question which we are going to discuss today. So here it is asked about length. Determine length for AH and the half angle E and H plane. Aperture area for AH and half angle theta E by 2 and theta H by 2 we have to calculate for a pyramidal horn antenna for which AE is 8 lambda and the horn antenna is fed with the rectangular waveguide operating in a TE10 mode. We have to take del E as lambda by 10 and del H as lambda by 4 for H plane, and this is for E plane. We have to calculate half power beamwidth for E and H both and directivity. It is simple. So first let me draw a triangle through which we can understand. So this is my theta E by 2 half angle. This is my length L lambda and this is my length L lambda plus 0.1 because 0.1 is the del E. So this is lambda means 0.1 lambda. So it is 0.1. Here I have considered lambda B divided by lambda. So it is only 0.1 I have considered. And this aperture is given as A by A lambda divided by 2. Okay, half of the aperture is given. So half of the aperture means half of this means it is 4. So that we have to calculate. So from this triangle we can determine easily what is the length. Okay. So if we consider this as a Pythagoras value, so L lambda square plus A lambda square divided by 4 square of these two is equals to L lambda 0.1 whole square. Now this equation will give you a quadratic equation through which we can determine the value of L. So we have A lambda as 8. If you divide this lambda here, you will get A lambda, that is A. And L lambda is equals to A square divided by 8.8. Because this 0.1 is multiplied with that 8 del. So this I can write as 80. So L lambda is equals to 80. Okay. So once this 80 is known, so this is 80, this is 80.1, and we can write. So this is with respect to theta e. Then we have to identify the half of the angle theta h by 2. Okay, theta h by 2. So here L lambda is equals to 80 we have identified. Here it is L lambda plus in place of 0.1 we have 0.25. So here it is 0.25. And this is AH lambda by 2. Okay. From this triangle, L lambda is 80. Here we will get 80.25. If these two values are known, this unknown factor can also be determined. That is, AH can also be determined. So what is our AH? Let's see. So it is AH lambda by 2 is equals to 6.33. Or we can say AH lambda is multiplied with 6.33, you will get around 12.7. So this is my AH lambda. Okay. So once this aperture is known, aperture with respect to the theta e and aperture with respect to theta h. So AE is known, AH we have identified. This AE and AH help us to determine the half power beamwidth. Let's see how to determine. One minute. Okay. So from this triangle, the half angle we can determine. How? From this triangle theta e by 2. If you take 10 theta e by 2 is perpendicular to hypotenuse, this A by lambda we have got 4. So 4 divided by 80, and you take 10 inverse, you will get your half angle with respect to theta e. Similarly, from the second triangle theta h by 2, you can determine the value. What is AH lambda? We have determined 12.7, and AH lambda by 2 is 6.33. If you take tan inverse of 6.33 divided by 80, we will get the half theta e with a half. It is a theta e means half flaring angle with respect to h plane. Okay. So these are the two things. Similarly, the half power beamwidth with respect to E plane we can determine as 56 degree divided by A lambda. Now what is A lambda? A lambda, here you can see A lambda is 8. So here we will get it is 56 degree divided by 8. So this is with respect to half power beamwidth of E plane. Similarly, half power beamwidth for H plane we can determine, that is for rectangular horn, pyramidal horn antenna is 67 degree divided by AH. So AH we have identified how much? AH lambda. So AH lambda is 12.7. Substitute this value. So it is 67 degree divided by 12.7. Okay. So near about we will get it is 6.4, and this one we will get around 5.3. So these are the half power beamwidth. Next we have to determine directivity. So directivity also we can determine as we have a relation 4100 divided by theta x and theta e. Half power beamwidth of E and half power beamwidth of H. So that is phi. So it is phi suffix E into phi suffix H, where phi suffix E is half power beamwidth of E plane and phi suffix H is the half power beamwidth of H plane. You have to substitute as 4100. It is 6.4 degree into 5.3 degree, and you will get around 894. Here one more 0. So it is 894. So my directivity is 894. Take 10 log of 894. You will get the values in terms of decimals. Okay. So these are the small questions, variety of questions through which we can approach the horn antenna with respect to E plane, with respect to H plane, and with respect to both, that is called pyramidal horn antenna, as well as we can identify for the conical horn antenna. Okay. So till then, we try to practice this sort of questions. Next class we are going to discuss about the other antenna. Okay. Till then, thank you.